I have been known to make mistakes from time to time. Welcome to the Vodkast. Hey guys, welcome to the Vodkast. I am not one to easily admit when I'm wrong, but I think I may have been a little bit wrong and a little bit harsh about my review of the Rise of Skywalker. I went back and I watched it again, and I think a lot of the problem I had going in the first time is with the previous movies, I didn't really care too much about spoiler stuff because half of it's not real, and it's just exciting to see and absorb Star Wars as you're going along, waiting for the next film to come along. Except this one, I told myself for the next 2 years, in between the gap, I was not going to read, watch, learn any spoiler material whatsoever. I wanted to avoid it at all costs, so that it was a surprising movie and all I had was the trailers to go by. So the trailers looked fantastic for the movie, and so I didn't really need too much. I didn't have to go outside of that canon material to find out what else was going on, and I was pleasantly surprised with a lot of things that happened in The Rise of Skywalker. So the first thing, going in without the expectations that I had already set for it, it was a much better movie. Knowing what was going to happen, I guess if I had maybe followed the spoilers a little bit, I may have been more satisfied by the movie, and I was very satisfied after watching it the second time, start to finish. Even the stuff that I thought was a little cheesy the first time, I could deal with a little bit better, because Star Wars is a little bit cheesy, a little corny. I am all the Jedi. One thing I didn't mention in the first video, and I looked over at my wife the minute I saw her, it was at the very end at the celebration, and there is the first ever on-screen same-sex kiss between two women, and I thought it was awesome, so I looked over at Carol and I was like, yeah! And I didn't mention it, and I think there's not a lot of talk about it, which is funny, because you would think in the world of Star Wars there is very polarization. There's people that love stuff and they hate stuff. I mean, look at these two reviews. I hated it, a week ago, and now I'm singing its praises. I'm glad it's not being talked about. You know why? Because I feel like maybe either the people who are too stupid to notice it didn't notice it, or B, it's become acceptable. It's not something we need to talk about anymore. I mean, I think we do. However, it's nice that it wasn't such a big deal. The minute I saw it, I expected controversy. I live in Lynchburg, Virginia, where it's the home of Liberty University and Thomas Road Baptist Church, if you're into that whole brevity sort of thing. And so I expected something, an article in the paper, something to show up on Facebook, controversial post on MSNBC or Fox News or something. One way or another, I thought you'd hear about it, and we didn't. And good. I hope this is just the standard. This is the norm now. We don't have to talk about it anymore, because love is love, I took down a bunch of notes, talking points that I wanted to talk about. I was going to tape them up so that I could read them, and I forgot them on the computer, so I'm just going to keep pausing and going over there. Something I didn't talk about in the last video, and I think was one of the most emotional moments in the movie, is the moment that Chewbacca finds out that Leia is dead. Like, he is now alone. The core cast of characters, if you include C-3PO and R2-D2, Luke, Leia, and Han, and Chewie, Lando on the outskirts, he didn't come in until the second movie. And now there's a cat. And he falls to the ground, and he's just howling in pain, realizing that now he's truly alone. I mean, he's got Lando, but Lando's never been too reliable to begin with. He's always, he saw Han die. Now Luke's gone. Now Leia's gone. And he's the last of those heroes from the original trilogy. And that moment hit me in the movie very profoundly, very hard. And it did bring a tear to my eye. And it was well-deserved. Because in The Force Awakens, Chewie gets off the ship with Rey, and they walk right past Leia. Han's dead. Where was the reaction from Chewie at that point? He should have, the two of them should have been in tears, holding each other, and there was nothing. And then Rey comes up and hugs her. Anywho, I think we get a little bit of a redemptive moment in this movie where you get to see, he's destroyed for that moment, and he knows he has to fight on, too. So, sweet Chewie. Another moment that hits you right in the old breadbasket in the heart was wherever, I think the breadbasket's here in the, I don't know what I'm talking about. The moment that hit me was when Han is on the ship with Kylo, and they're talking, and he says, Dad, and before he can say, I love you, Han says, I know. And it's just that line from, Empire Strikes Back, when Leia rushes over to him before he's about to be put in carbonite, I love you. I know. And just to hear that again in a new context was really cool. And it reminded me of, you know, who Han Solo was, you know, through and through. He was a scoundrel with a heart of gold. Although Billy D. Williams is getting on in years, I think it would be cool to see a brief short series or even just one movie on Disney Plus of Lando and him reuniting families that were separated as children from their parents and trying to find those. I think that'd be an awesome concept for a show, and you could use Natalie What's-Her-Name's character in it as well, which would be great to find out that she was actually Lando's, you know, daughter at the end. Also, I have to stand corrected. C-3PO Anthony Daniels, he didn't, as far as I know, make a cameo in the film outside of the C-3PO armor. It was Wedge Antilles. I can't remember the actor's name, but they look incredibly. Look at this. Here, look at these two pictures of them side by side. They look a lot alike. I thought it was Anthony Daniels. I'm sorry. And I've decided that my theory is still true. I believe the Emperor did get a hold of Luke's hand and created his son that way. And that's how Rey is officially a Skywalker. That's the only way I'm going to live with this movie. I'm telling you. Palpatine thing still irks me a little bit. Yeah. But after all is said and done, I really enjoyed The Rise of Skywalker on my second viewing. The first viewing, I think I was in for some surprises that I just wasn't expecting, didn't want. I'd already set up the story in my mind, how I thought it should play out, so I still think I could write a better movie. I think it was good. I think it was really good, and it really was a fan service where like we got given what we really wanted. And some of us didn't get quite what they were looking for, but whoever gets what they want on Christmas morning. Well, thank you guys for stopping by and checking out the second half of this video. I wanted to kind of keep it brief. I just want to say that, you know, in the end, I'd give it probably like an 8 or an 8.5. Still don't think it's on par with anything from the original trilogy, but it's probably the best, I would say, out of the new trilogy at this point. My opinion could change at any moment, but as of right now, that's where I stand on all that. Thank you guys for stopping by and checking these out. If you guys are loving watching these as much as I'm loving making them, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, hitting the little bell to let you know when I do a new video or throw something out on here. And don't forget to make somebody smile tomorrow. Make yourself a better person tomorrow than you were today, tomorrow. Let's make the world spin a little bit happier together. Let's sing and dance in the sun and in the rain, my brothers and sisters, as one. Live life to the fullest and love every moment of it, because you just never know when that last moment's going to come for you. However, never live in fear of that moment. Always live in love and never let your inner child die. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and take care of those around you who can't take care of themselves, because they're the ones that need it the most. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll catch you guys a little bit further on down the road. Later on, guys. Good night. Go to bed.